This is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to work with 6x6 paper pads. Now everyone has 6x6 pads. They seem to accumulate in one stash, and so you need some ways of using them, and I have a couple of quick ways, and I'd like to share them with you. First, let me show you some of my pads. This one is basically a paper pad, and it has all sorts of wild, bright colors. I have one here that deals with bees and honey. We'll look at it a little bit. And it's a little thicker. It's a cardstock as the bee, flowers, more flowers, lemons. There's quite a beehive paper. There's quite an assortment here. And it has one real good one of bees. Let me see if I can find it. Well, there's a bigger flowers. And right here, it has some real pretty bees there. So that's a little set. And I have this set here that is, they all blend in with each other. And that's the type of cardstock. Then I have these, have little small prints. And then these have some extra cutouts with some interesting backgrounds. So you can get an assortment with your 6-inch pads, just like you can with your great big 12 by 12s or 8.5 by 11. So let's put the pads away. I have pulled out a few sheets that I'm going to use, but I did want to point out one thing. If your pad is like this one, it has the white at the top, like this, you may want to check your measurement, because you may have to cut down a little bit into the print to make it an actual 6x6, because I have found if you cut on the line there, that you end up with a little more than 6 on two sides. So let's see what we can make. I took a piece of one of mine out of one of the pads, and I cut it in half like this. Then I cut the half into another half. So I have 3/4 left. And this is what I made. I made a little comment card. And it's not real heavy. So if you want it as a heavy card, you should glue it to a piece of white cardstock. But this is single-sided, so you can write on the back of this, and you want to distress it a little bit. Now, my orange flower, I'm not sure goes real good with this pink. It's kind of a contrast there, but since I already have it on there, I'm going to go with it. I think if I go back, and let me see what else I can dig up here. I think if I go back and put some vintage photo on top, let's see what will happen. Give me just a second. We'll find us a vintage photo. Here we go. I have the colors on the back of all my little foam pieces here, so that I can keep them separate. This was his vintage photo. So let's see what kind of color we get, because I really don't care for the pink and orange. And I think this is going to be just enough to make it go together. And what we could do here is we can clip the corner. Okay, I have rounded my corners a little bit. That makes it look a little nicer. Okay, and here's my finished piece. And if you want to know what color this is, it's warm lipstick with vintage photo on top of it. And I think that color looks much better. So that's what you can do with your piece of 6x6 in a hurry. As I said, the only thing I did was cut it in half and cut that half into a 3x3. And that's a pretty good size to write in. Also, it makes a great size for a pocket. Now, let's see what else we have here. I have a couple of envelopes. These two I have decorated already. And I will show you how to make these in just a second. This, let's see, let's go back. What I'm trying to do is use some colors on my distressed ink that I very seldom use, but have. So why have it if you're not going to use it? So let's see what we got here with this multicolored envelope. Okay, it has we can put a couple of things on here, flower, or we could make a stamp, put a stamp. And the stamp looks neat since it is an envelope. And this is the back side of my envelope, which I need to also distress. And if you notice, it hooks into itself like that. Let me show you how to make it. First, I want to glue this down. We'll take a little glue here. And we'll just put it where a stamp ordinarily goes. Now those there, I just put my thing where I wanted it. It was in the bottom corner, and this was in the top corner on the left, and this was on the front. Now let me show you how to make one of these. What I'm going to do is get a piece of, a piece of paper. Let's go with this yellow. And we'll go all the way down. And fold it into a triangle. Okay, next. crib go in this direction. And I'm going to point out the center. So I'll just mark a mark here for the center. Okay. Now, I'm going to go up from the bottom to the center. Here. And then fold over to here. Now, turn it over. We don't have any white showing. Okay. Now, I want this bottom, I want it to come over here. A little past the line. You have to kind of push this in place. I'm going to take this one and go across past the line. When I say line, I mean the center. This time, let's see. Okay, now I have this. And pull this out. And I'm going to make a peak out of it by opening it up like this. See, I'm pushing that out. And then I'm going to mash it down. I'm going to pull it over enough that it covers the white to the left. That holds it. I kind of did the double fold up there, but that gives you the idea. Okay. Now, let's see what else we can build. You can take this. This is a queen envelope. And I think I'm gonna do it with this blue. Fold this one over. Now, open it up and turn it up just a little bit at the bottom to make a hem shall we say. We'll put a little glue in it. Now, glue this down so your money won't fall out since it's a coin envelope. Now, before I glue the other part down, I want to put some right down the edge here because this is going to overlap. Put a little more glue down here. And while you're working on it, you put a clamp on it. Now, I'm going to be folding this over, so I need to take a pair of scissors. And I'm going to cut down this just a little bit. And first I need to see if I can find me a ruler. That'll help. Take me a ruler and mark me a line. And that's kind of, here we go. And I'll go back on this side because I had to get started and I didn't start on the fold. So I'll cut this here. Okay. There we go, that straightened it up a little bit. this has kind of a so it's not so blah. That's where I folded too much to begin with. Well, we'll cover that up to a degree. I'm gonna put, I think I'm gonna put vintage photo on this because I think that's about the only color that I can use that would work right. And I'm coloring the white a little bit so it's not stark white. Okay, and that I might make that darker later, but we'll see. Now you'll say, oh, she's got a crease there where she folded it too much to begin with. Well, I'm gonna fix that as soon as I get me a piece of book page. I'm gonna do it similar to this. Now this one I did not fold incorrectly to begin with. That's just the way I decorated it. But this one, since it has a bad fold, you know, but sometimes when you goof up, it ends up being better than what you started with. So let's take my piece of book page. And we'll trim it down that side. And I think I want this side kind of wobbly. So we'll just there we go. Now you don't have to use a book page. But if you do use a book page, have the writing right side up, which I do. But anyway, make sure the writing's right side up. You can use cardstock or designer paper. And since my dark blue didn't show up a whole lot with the distressing, I'm going to distress this. Now let's see how far down it goes. Okay, we'll just kind of rip it here. There we go. And I want to make sure that this folds down. I don't have a very big flap. It's up to you how big a flap you have. I'm going to do something like this. And let me see. I think I've got a quicker process here. This has seen better days. Okay. Let's see, this is my top. And we make sure that the print is right side up. There we go. Now this one here has a scroll on it. So let's do something a little different. Maybe I can put a couple of pictures instead. Let's see if that, oh, I know what. The problem with that has green on it. I want something with some blue. Now that covers up my book page. So let's go somewhere else. See what else we can find. How about a bunch of flowers? Okay, I think that'll do. Something a little different. Let's put the ones that have a bunch in it in the middle. Okay, let's go with this. There we go. I think that makes an interesting front. Like that. So here's two different ones. Now this one, if you notice, I've got it on this side. This one, if you notice, I put it on the front side. So it doesn't matter. You can do it either way, or you can do it on both sides and just put it loose in your junk journal. So it can go either way. I did that on purpose. I don't guess you realize that, but I did do it on purpose. Put it on two different sides. Okay. Here's my finished project here. My envelope that I made with envelope maker, and then the two envelopes I made with the self-closing part, and then a cluster, or the beginning of a cluster, or a comment card, and my two coin envelopes. I really like this one. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please come back, because part 2 will be up soon. And those items that I'm doing in part 2 are just a little harder than these. These were fairly simple. So make sure you come back. In the meantime, have a great crafting day. And don't forget, please subscribe. Bye.